Hello, Professor and classmates. Today, I'm going to provide the presentation that I made, which belongs to Chapter 5, that the verbal issues and intercultural communication. Before of that, I want to explain, I have two screens. One is the small screen. It's my computer, the laptop computer, which camera is on it. So another one, I have the big screen that I opened in the presentation. Let's start the presentation. Intercultural communication, as I said before, this one belongs to Chapter 5, the intercultural communication that I have here. The verbal issues and intercultural communication belongs to Chapter 5. All we know that intercultural communication involves sharing information across different culture and social groups, including individuals with different religious, social, ethnic, and educational backgrounds. The second one, we are talking about the language. Language, the method of human communication, either spoken or writing, consisting of the use of words in a structured and conventional way. Our language, we can say language includes using our bodies and changing how we communicate to express our ideas. The top 10 language most spoken in the world. The first slide you will see here, I took the picture from textbook and posted here in my presentation. This is the new research that I searched on the internet. Under the language name, you can see the website link. So it's according of the speakers, how many million people they are speaking on English, Mandarin, Hindu, Spanish, some of the language we can see here. Another thing, the very important thing is multilingualism. A person who speaks 2 languages is bilingual. A person who speaks more than 2 languages is multilingual. So what is the benefit of multilingualism? I am a person that I am multilingualism. I can speak 4 languages. So here we are looking for the benefits. Enhanced communication abilities, superior executive functioning, tuned to their surroundings, enhanced career chances, skilled multitaskers.
谢谢，谢谢。
Please tell me you speak English. I'm Detective Carter. Do you speak any English? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? I cannot believe this shit.
谢谢。
First I get a bullshit assignment, now Mr. Rice-A-Roni don't even speak American. Come on, man, my ride over here. Put your bag in the back. Put your bag in the back. No. The car. Get out of the car now. Where you think you're going, huh? Didn't I tell you to stay over there by the Duke?
Hey, what do you think you're doing?
Just mind your own business, old man, and stay in the car. Hey, what you doing? I was just trying to find out where you was going, man. You thought I was gonna shoot you? I wanted to go with you.
Hey, what's happening here?
Put the gun down. Put the gun down. I ain't playing with you, man. You think I'm playing with you?
Don't move. Drop your guns.
Hey, man. Look, FBI.
I'm policeman. I'm just showing him how to take a gun from a suspect.
All of a sudden, you speaking English now, huh?
A little.
The study of the language, we divided on 4 parts: phonology, syntactics, and pragmatic. Each of one we will discuss or we will review here. Phonology, the study of sounds, or also we can say this one is sometimes this one we can call grammar of sound. Semantic, the study of the meaning of words and phrases in a language, or the meaning of words and phrases in a particular context. We have two things. One is the British, one is the English here we will discuss. For example, in British language, we say, or the British speakers, they are saying biscuit. But in the United States and Americans, we are saying, okay, cookies, chips, we are saying French fries. Syntactics. Syntactics, it's the study of the structure of a language. Philosopher and linguist Noam Chomsky in 1955 refers the rule of that govern the ways in which words combine to form phrases, classes, and sentences. For example, the red car smashed into the blue car, or the blue car smashed into the red car. And pragmatics means the study of the various aspects of the language uses in a particular situation, dealing with the way in which language users use and interpret words and utterance. For example, inshallah. And I'm a Muslim, all the time I'm saying inshallah. And the language and perception. We have the three parts for the language and perception. The first one is nominalists, and position, the relativist position, the qualified position. The first position feels that our perception is not shaped by the language we speak, and the relativist position argues that our perception is determined by the language we speak, and the qualified relativist position and argues that the language influences how we perceive. We have two things here. The language perception, we divide it on two parts. One is the power effects of label. The power effects of label, we are saying the label, the signifiers acknowledge aspects of our social identities. Labels are words that describes the aspect of a person identity. These includes words having to do with age, race, gender, occupation, and more. Researchers, they are mentioned in one place that I saw, they are said the food labels influence the perception of flavors. And Soffer-Whorf and hypothesis, a theory created by Edward Soffer and Benjamin Lee Whorf, that states the structure of the language decided or significantly impacts the method of the idea and conduct normal for the way of life and which is spoken. For example, we use the words like fireman, policeman, and male or nurse. Cultural variation in language, and three things were discussed here. Attitude towards speaking, writing, and silence. The first thing we are seeing is communication style is combined both verbal and nonverbal. For the speaking, consider it a very important and popular way to communicate in the US culture. Silence is seen as an intimate way to getting to know someone better, and writing contracts is more powerful than verbal consent in the US. Actually, it's everywhere. For example, we are saying, did you get that in writing? Another slide that I have, variation in communication style, high context and low context, direct and indirect, and elaborate and understated styles. Here we have in high and context and low context. For the high context, we have most of the information is internalized in the receivers, and the low context, most of the information is in the verbal message. Or we can say the high context refers to societies or the groups where people have close connection over a long period of time. And low context refers to societies where people tend to have many connection, but of shorter duration of or for some specific reason. Direct and indirect we have. For the direct, we have the direct communication happens when the speaker's true intention and are communicated in his or her verbal message. For example, she said, The exam is difficult, or I bought a car. Indirect is opposite. And indirect we have here is indirect communication happens when the speaker is true intention are hidden. For example, she said the test was difficult, for example, or he said he bought a car. Elaborated and understated style. An elaborated style of communication refers to use of the expressive language, sometimes with exaggeration or animation in everyday conversation. And the second one is communicate style involves the extensive use of silence, pauses, and understatement in conversation. Influence of interactive media use on communication style, variation and slang and humor. As well, the first one is slang is the particularly important for the yacht culture. It is almost imperative to invent slang, and that belongs to each generation and intelligible to parents and other adults. The second one, we have the humor, and can be another cultural language variation that presents challenge trying to and use a humor in a foreign language, and can be really challenging because the basic of humor is so often linked as a particular cultural experience or history. So language has immense power, and its impact depends entirely on how we wild it. Most linguists and now agree that the relationship between language and power is mutual relationship. Powerful institutions and individuals use language as both means to construct their power and as a way to maintain it. And another slide, language and a social position. Social position is the position of an individual in a given society and culture. So this can help to identify a person's position within the social hierarchy and a society. Strategies. We have three kinds of strategies. The first one is assimilation strategies. Assimilation strategy is a linear process by which one group become culturally similar to another one or the over time. It has the four types, and progressive, regressive, and coalescent, and full and partial assimilation. So the second one is accommodation strategies. It has three kinds. The first one is non-assertive, assertive, aggressive. So the last one is separation strategies. An attitude supporting the separation of a language variety from the language to which it has hitherto been considered to belong, in order to make this variety be considered as a distinct language. Thank you so much.